Hey everyone, back for another Siam snippet. I do look like a homeless person here at the moment. We have just moved into our new office and I don't have a table, desk or even a chair, so I'm in the corner with my doggy Pips. So last time we spoke about loss aversion. Today we're going to talk about sunk costs effect. And remember, same book, Where the Turtle, the sunk costs effect, the tendency to treat money that has already been committed or spent as more valuable than money that may be spent in the future. So what does he have to say about this? In business, sunk costs are costs that have already been incurred and cannot be recovered. For example, an investment that already has been spent on research for a new technology is a sunk cost. The sunk cost effect is the tendency for people to consider the amount of money that already has been spent, the sunk costs, when making decisions. Then he goes on about a big, long example, but here's a more relevant trading example. How does this phenomenon influence trading? Consider the typical new trader who initiated a trade with the expectation of winning $2,000. At the time the trade first was entered, he decided that he would exit the position if the price dropped to the point where a $1,000 loss would be incurred. So here he's basically thinking, or this typical trader's thinking, they've got a mental $1,000 stop loss. After a few days, the trade's position is at a $500 loss. A few more days pass and the loss grows to over $1,000. So first error there, hasn't put a stop loss and he's gone more than -1R. So yeah, a lot of typical newbies do that. More than 10% of the trading account. The value of that account has dropped from $10,000 to less than $9,000. This also happens to be the point where the trader previously decided to exit. Consider how cognitive biases might affect the decision whether to keep true to the prior commitment to get out at a $1,000 loss or to keep holding the position. Loss aversion makes it extremely painful for the trader to consider exiting the position because that would make the loss permanent. As long as he does not exit, he believes there is a chance that the market will come back and turn the loss into a win. That's why in the crypto space, most people start out trying to trade cryptos and then are forced to be hodlers. The sunk cost effect makes the decision not one of deciding what the market is likely to do in the future, but one of finding ways to avoid wasting the $1,000 that has already been spent on the trade. So the new trader continues to hold the position not because of what he believes the market is likely to do, but because he does not want to take a loss and waste that $1,000. What will he do when the price drops even more and the loss increases to $2,000? That happens all of the time, and so yeah, when it comes to trading, you should never have a big win that makes you, and you should never have a big loss that destroys your whole account. And I think that's one of the biggest problems I had in the past. You know, I may have had a 6-month, consistently profitable, and then I'd have a bad trade. I'd then revenge trade, trying to make money back in the same market, and then end up blowing the account. So my rule for revenge trading is, yes, you will get revenge, but revenge is best served cold. So you're going to get your revenge not on that chart, not today. So you're going to get your money back on another chart, doing another technique, on another day. That's how I see things. Or you just don't bother about revenge. Rational thought dictates that he will exit. Never happens. Regardless of the earlier assumption about the market is clearly telling him that he was wrong. Yeah, he was wrong. It's always a he. Since it is far past the point that a woman would have exited the trade by now. They're far better traders. Since it is far past the point at which he originally decided to exit. Unfortunately, both biases are even stronger at this point. The loss he wishes to avoid is now larger and even more painful to consider. For many, this kind of behavior, I feel like a 4-year-old, I'm using my finger to read. For many, this kind of behavior will continue after the trader loses all of his money or finally panics and exits with a loss of 30 to 50% of his account. Perhaps 3 to 5 times what he had planned. So this leads us to the whiteboard. Excuse me, Pips. Whoa. So you can use sunk cost effect to your advantage. So let's say here's a typical bull market. I'm using Bitcoin as a rough example. So when it could be anything. It could be copper. It could be iron ore for all we care. But when a rally starts going, the public are always late, so especially the new traders, because they're chasing the news, and something may be rallying like Bitcoin, and what you'll have are popular local highs. So there may have been a whole bunch of news flurry and celebrities tweeting stuff, and Bitcoin may have been around $15,000. So a whole bunch of people get in at $15,000. I mean, I'm just making this up. It could be 10,000, could be 12. I'm just arbitrary number. And then because of that surge, it then rallies the market up to a new high. And in this case, Bitcoin peaked around just under $20,000. And then we had the fall over. So we had a whole bunch of, I'm going to be a crypto millionaire trader. They buy in here or anywhere up to here. And then all of a sudden they're like, shit, sunk costs, I'm just going to hodl. Bitcoin's going to $1 million in the future, etc. But what happens, do you think, when the market gets back up to this popular high, 15,000? This causes a whole bunch of people that are in pain, and have been in pain for a year or over a year, going, right, the second I get back to break even, I'm bugging out, I'm selling. And so guess what? A whole bunch of people, amateurs, sell here. It will probably have a bit of a pullback, and then obviously the market is going to go up, and guess what? We'll then probably have another sell-off at all-time highs, because it's a whole bunch of people in pain that want to get out. And that's great for us, because as in the strong hands, we're just going to buy the dip. BTFD. And by the way, buy the friggin' dip is a strategy you should only do when we're in a rising market. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. Here's one caveat though, when it comes to cryptos, Bitcoin, typically with any other asset, stocks, commodities, FX, when a market is approaching a previous all-time high, we nearly always see a sell-off or a rapid pullback. But when in Bitcoin's case, if you look back to all the times we've had a dip, it's like I see your all-time high and I raise you double. It literally just plows through. So hopefully that makes sense, and I'll do more snippets soon. Bye.